it, I gotta get it. You hating cause ice on the wrist. I bet you wanna be famous, They act like they made us, You know I'm icy in Vegas, This for the that hate us, I make a lot of new money, When it's not savers, You be liking my flavor, I think it's cause ice on the wrist, on the wrist, on the wrist. Watch out, cuz I never switch, I never switch, I never switch, I never switch. Ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist,
I was legit ever since I blew they all on my.
From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New Orleans Saints. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And that should give his guys a spark. He's up all the way to the 44-yard line.
Well, that return gives them a golden opportunity to go out in front. How will the defense respond after giving up that type of a return?
Going to give this time to the tailback. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Check 52.
From the gun, Graves. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, but they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9.
Mike 9. Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go. Mike 9.
Operating from the gun, Graves. Incomplete. Both players were there offensively and defensively, but it falls incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
Up. 180. Push him back. Push him back. Check 50. Check 50. Switch.
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on. First down and just 1 yard there.
Brings up 3rd and 7.
Stop talking now, Lord. Let's go, D. Let's go. Check. Crunch. 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 Alert flare. Alert flare. 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 Check 99. Check 99. Check 9. Check 9. Alert. 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 Alert.
On 3rd down, Trubisky. They'll air it out deep for Thomas. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 20. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4.
To throw on second down. Graves. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Von Miller able to record his 5th sack of the season.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on, how about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
Check, watch 54, watch 54. We ain't giving up nothing yet.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Graves. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. The first look at the NFL scoreboard comes from the Motor City. It's the Lions that have grabbed the early lead. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now it's Trubisky. Looking long for Thomas. And that is caught. One-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Zane Gonzalez on for the extra point. And it's good as the Saints have a 7-0 lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're... Seriously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
At the 31-yard line.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Second and 4. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field.
Watch the slant. Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4.
From the gun, Graves. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Von Miller in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10.
We own them. We own them. SOS. Hey, 18. SOS.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
I got him. Wide. Get wide. Under 10. Hey, ball.
Now on 2nd and 13, Trubisky. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this 1st quarter. Ready for the 2nd quarter from New Orleans. Possession as they've got it staring at a 3rd down and 13. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
Come on, boy. You better be ready. Don't be scared of it. Mike 50. I'm coming.
Out of the gun, Trubisky. Open man is Michael Thomas. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 24-yard line.
It's our field.
1st down. Here's the run with Montgomery. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
On the carry, it's Montgomery. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the 1st battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
And the ball situated at the 9. 2nd and goal.
Come on, QB, come on.
Off the play fake. Here's Trubisky. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On 3rd and goal, Trubisky steps away to his, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. It's Ryan Kerrigan getting the sack.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do give 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards, as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. So far they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now sometimes if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
On 1st and 10, Graves. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And another juke. And some room to maneuver. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Keep getting up, touchdown.
Ah, yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
You're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski. Okay, Oski
different
was an
things for
interception.
different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a
too many syllables.
Yeah. You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively. And he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
They'll run it with Johnson. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Trubisky. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference.
And now where does the ball get placed?
At the 1-yard line.
1-yard line. They gave up excellent real estate on that one. That's going to work really, really well for the guys who threw it.
180! Oh, yeah. Red, come. Here we go again. Here we go again. Spot. Alert. No. Slam.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Leads to 2nd and goal at the 6-yard line.
Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And with that, they're now out of timeouts. There's still plenty of time remaining here in this 2nd quarter. Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
The play lost a yard. It's now 3rd.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
You got it. You got it.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now Trubisky lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So not sure how they feel about that. They had golden field position to start the drive after the fumble recovery, but they went backward and then got 3.
Well, let's go from gold to silver, because the silver lining is they got the 3, right? You were talking about the golden field position. They didn't take advantage of it. That has to feel like a letdown.
You always stand ready to pounce. Always.
Let's go.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. To throw again. Graves. He'll rifle this one deep right side. He's got a man. Complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
First down, Pittsburgh.
Mike 9. Pick it up, guys. Pick it up.
Operating from the gun. Graves. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Von Miller, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon.
I got you, son. I got you, son. Big ass. Kill. Check safety. Awesome.
Back to throw. Graves. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on third and long. From the gun, Graves. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. The Steelers send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this. And the defense loses him. It's complete. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas in the final seconds of the first half. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook, but even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ryan Kerrigan picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
That's his second sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
He's checking. Crash.
Throwing on second and long. Trubisky. This is complete to Michael Thomas. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he's got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 18. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. On first down, Graves. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. A really good pickup of 28 yards. They've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Von Miller in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone could go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
Switch it, switch it, switch it. Come on, switch it.
Looking to throw. Graves. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. 27 yards there, a first down. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's.
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sack back of the 29. Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Second and 14. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. That's good for 28 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Hey, ready? You better bring it. You better.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Jalen Richard, his first touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are able to close the gap just a bit. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that will get him one closer. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Trubisky going for the deep ball. And got his man complete. That one good for 37 yards.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now Johnson. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. The linebacker Ryan Shazier there to make the tackle.
2nd and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Montgomery. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. From the shotgun is Trubisky. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the first down. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Zane Gonzalez on for the field goal.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that lead will move from 20 up now to 23. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
Now left side on the swing pass. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Back now here live in New Orleans. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. The Steelers on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12.
They still playing soccer. Y'all playing the wrong football. 54. 64. Wait. Walk 54. Here we go. Back. Kill. Watch out. No.
Operating from the gun. Graves. Being chased out left. Now he'll let it go deep down the left sideline. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen. despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Taking on the midfield logo. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Trubisky. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's the bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some 1st downs, just as good as running the football. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Now Trubisky going to give this to Montgomery. And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27, no 1st down. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. That's going to be their 2nd. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. And the kick by Gonzalez is good. And that will make the lead now 26. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
After the field goal, here's Gonzalez to kick it off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Wild Bill, Wild Bill.
Back to throw. Graves. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38, and they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Check three.
Kamara. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It'll be a Saints 1st down on a pickup of 13.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Red, check 43.
Staying on the ground on 1st with Kamara. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the Steelers' 25-yard line.
180.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo.
They run, Montgomery. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
Brought down back at the 29-yard line.
3rd and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. Trubisky will throw. And he'll find Hall. And he's going to be marked down short of the 1st down, right around the 17. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Cut. Switch. Bravo. Let it go.
Throwing again. Graves. He's going to fire one deep. Middle of the... Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. 20. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Juju Smith-Schuster, 81 yards. And the Steelers are able to cut into that deficit.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
How about the throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try.
Check 55, Mike. Watch the flag.
On 1st down, Trubisky gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 12 yards there, good for a Saints 1st down. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, his 1st touchdown on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Here's a 2nd and 7. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. The 20, 10, and he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, 77 yards. And the Steelers are able to close the gap just a bit. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that will shave one more off this lead. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. All day, baby. All day, all day, baby. All day. Mike's 5-4. Mike's 5-4.
Looking to throw Trubisky on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt causing the disruption. He gets the sack.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Throwing on 2nd and long. Trubisky. And he's going to go down again.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
Let's see what they draw up here. 3rd and long following the sack of Trubisky. Now Trubisky to throw. He gets it to Thomas. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas with his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time? That maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once we were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Graves. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan able to record his 5th sack of the season. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Throwing on 3rd and long. Graves. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. It's a big play there for the Steelers. 56 yards.
First down, Pittsburgh.
Mike's 5-4. Mike's 5-4. Mike's 5-4.
Throwing on first down. Graves. He's got the lane, and there he goes. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this, pretty much over? You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for him.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Hey, let's get some penetration here. Let's get some penetration.
From the gun, Graves. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Right there. 54 Mike.
You don't know no better.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this